Good afternoon, sir. Would you raise your right hand for me, please? You do solemnly swear the evidence and the testimony given in the cause will be the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
That's our witness stand right over there. If you make yourself comfortable, adjust the microphone if you need to. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Would you tell the jury your name, please?
Kevin Wright.
And what do you do for a living?
I'm assigned to the Texas Ranger Division. I'm with the Texas Department of Public Safety.
And how long have you been a ranger?
Since 2010, so going on 16 years.
How long have you been in law enforcement?
First got into law enforcement in 1996, so pretty close to 30 years now.
What got you in law enforcement?
Well, it's something that I always wanted to do as a kid. I had some of my friends, their fathers were in law enforcement, and just seemed like a pretty noble profession, and just kind of went that direction.
Dangerous profession?
I'm sorry?
Is it a dangerous profession?
It certainly can be.
That didn't stop you from being in law enforcement.
No.
And on May 24, 2022, where were you assigned?
I was assigned in Boerne, Texas.
And where's that?
Boerne is a suburb on the northwest side of San Antonio.
And how far is that from Uvalde?
A couple hours.
Did you end up in Uvalde on that day or soon thereafter?
I did.
Tell us how that happened.
So I received a call from my lieutenant at the time, who advised that there was a mass casualty incident in Uvalde, Texas. I'm a member of the state crime scene team for the Texas Ranger Division, and so my assignment at that time was to go to San Antonio from Boerne, pick up our crime scene trailer. It's a trailer that just has lots of crime scene supplies for working a big type of crime scene like that. So pick up that crime scene trailer and then drive to Uvalde.
And when did you get there?
I think I got there around 5 or 6 in the evening, a few hours after everything had happened.
And did you get an assignment?
Yes.
Tell us what that was.
The assignment that evening was to help identify the victims inside the school.
And how did you do that? How did you go about doing that?
Most of it was visual identification. We did have, I guess some of the parents of some of the children had provided photographs of their children from earlier in the day. My understanding is that there was some type of award ceremony, and so there were a lot of pictures of the children and actually what they were wearing that day. So we were able to identify several of them from those photographs.
Because the photographs were so quick, it happened the same day, the clothing helped to identify.
Correct. Many of them were wearing the same exact clothing that they were wearing in the photographs earlier that day.
And where were the children that you found?
They were in a couple of the classrooms.
So how long did that take?
It took several hours that evening. I think I remember working till about, I want to say 11 or 12 that evening. I believe that was a Friday evening.
And what did you do with the information?
As far as the identity?
Yes, sir.
We just provided it to our chain of command. I don't know who it was that actually took the information and matched it up and gave it to funeral homes or any other entity. It's one of the things that we were doing. We compiled it, and somebody within our group took it to whoever needed it.
Just moves up the chain.
Correct.
Thank you. Did you also have any assignments with evidence collection?
Yes.
Tell us about that assignment.
So my primary assignment over the next few days was to gather evidence from a few of the classrooms. I think it was 4 of the classrooms, maybe 4 or 5 of them, on the the west side of that building at Robb Elementary. My primary assignment was to identify where bullet defects were in the windows coming into the classrooms, and try to trace as best as possible the flight path, the trajectory of these bullets that came in. Many of them struck the ceiling, many of them struck the opposite walls, but that was my primary assignment for the next few days.
Okay. Let's take a second just to familiarize the jury once again with the part of the bullet that you were working on, okay?
Okay.
Yes, sir. Can we get the exhibit back that was tendered to the jury, to the court reporter?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, thank you. Part of my job, I gotta make sure we get everything.
You can come on up, and the jury's spread pretty wide, so that's why I have the pointer, so we can give them room to see. So, for the last couple of days, we've been working on the casing part of the bullet. Would you again point that out for the jury?
We call this the casing, or we call it the cartridge of the bullet.
Okay, and then the front end, would you point that out and tell us what that is?
That is the bullet. That is the actual projectile that comes out of the end of the cartridge that goes out.
And that's the damage part of it.
Correct.
And so what was your assignment?
My assignment.
With relationship to the projectile or the bullet side of it?
My assignment was to identify the areas, again, in the windows on the west side of the building where the bullets had come in through the windows, and trace their, as best as possible, trace their flight path into the ceiling tiles, into furniture or other objects within the classrooms, or into the opposite walls of the classrooms.
Okay, thank you. And when a bullet leaves a gun, in general terms, does it go in a straight line?
Generally speaking, yes, unless it hits something else or there's some other type of force exerted upon it.
So generally it goes in a straight line until it hits something.
Generally speaking, yes.
And then what happens?
When the bullet hits something,
Yes, sir.
Judge, I don't know if he's qualified to testify about trajectory. I'd like to take him on board. If he's going to go down this type of, or he thought he was going to do evidence collection.
I'm going to do evidence collection, but he's
Wow.
collecting pieces of bullets.
I mean, I guess I don't know the scope of what he's going to go into, Judge, which I'm happy to do. I just want to make sure I question before.
Let me rephrase
Okay.
this and not clear it
Okay.
up.
Thank you.
Would you tell us what a fragment of a bullet is?
Thank you.
when a bullet strikes an object, many times it will basically break off into several pieces. A bullet fragment is going to be just one of those pieces, and they can go any type of direction. I think an old ranger told me one time bullets do weird things whenever they hit something, and they do. They can go in a million different directions depending on many circumstances.
And does it make a difference if a bullet is just a solid bullet or a hollow point or a jacketed bullet?
It would make some type of a difference. However, every one of those I've seen, they have fragmented before.
Okay, the fragment, just means different pieces. Is that
Correct. They've come apart.
Okay. And so was your job then, well, first let me ask, did you see places or indications where a bullet had gone through a solid object?
Yes.
And tell us what that was.
There were many of them. Many of the bullets went through glass. Some of them had gone through the actual steel window frame. Once they perforated through the glass or the window frame, they came into the classroom and hit several other objects, whether it was desks, books, ceiling tiles, the wall on the opposite side of the room, just anything in its path was could and did get hit.
And were you able to recover any of those fragments or solid bullets?
Yes.
And were there both? Or the recovery of both, solid bullets as well as fragments?
Yes.
Okay. And in general terms, which rooms did you work on primarily?
The rooms that were on the west side of the building. I don't remember the room numbers right offhand. If you have a diagram, I could explain to the jury which ones those were.
I think this is probably a good time to do that. Tender, you photographed your work, did you not?
Yes.
And before coming here today, did you have a chance to review those photographs to determine if they're fair and accurate representations of your work?
Yes.
And were they?
Yes.
With Tender exhibits at this point 23 through seems like it's too big. Yeah, it is. I'll cut it off where it is. I'm sorry. 23 through 49 at this point.
You have a moment, Judge?
Yes.
No objection, Your Honor.
They're admitted.
And I was just informed that we had to skip numbers because other exhibit numbers were taken, so I'm going to add to the offer 153 through 163. Apologies.
It's okay. No objections, Your Honor.
They're admitted as well. You may publish.
Thank you. Starting with the first location then.
Thank you.
Okay, we could start with Exhibit 23, Could you point out the room 102 and where it is in relationship to the building?
Your Honor, may I approach the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 102, room 102 is going to be highlighted here in yellow.
And I'll next show you State's Exhibit 24 and ask you to identify what we're looking at here.
This is going to be room 102, an outside view, and the two windows that are for room 102.
And by looking at the far right window, just to the right of that, what is the perpendicular structure coming up and down right by the end of the building?
I guess I don't know what you're referring to.
Okay.
Are you talking about
Yes, sir.
this?
Yes, sir.
The drain pipe?
Yes, sir. Just a
Okay.
drainage pipe?
Correct.
I'm doing that so that I can identify it in the next photograph.
Okay.
So Exhibit 24 is the window next to the drainage pipe. It shows both of them though.
Yes.
And then Exhibit 25.
This is going to be that window that you were referring to in the previous photograph, and you're going to be able to see some bullet defects in the glass in this window.
And Exhibit 26.
Again, it's a little bit closer angle, but you're going to be able to see bullet defects in the glass of that window.
And how many defects do you see?
Offhand, 4.
Okay. And now I'm going to show you an exhibit that's already been introduced into evidence. State's Exhibit 96. Did you see that same drainage pipe in State's Exhibit 96?
I do.
And would you come to the middle of the jury and just kind of on a pivot show where the drainage ditch is and where
The drainage pipe.
that drainage pipe,
Okay.
excuse me.
So the drainage pipe is going to be right here. So the window, this window would be over this in this direction from that drainage pipe.
Okay. And these, were you there when the yellow tents were marked to pull up the casings that were at this same location in front of 102?
I may or may not have been. I don't know. I did not mark those.
But if you move to the left of those casings, would that be right in front of that window?
Yes.
And then showing you Exhibit 112 while you're still up here. Is that a set of exhibits that are then further south of Exhibit 96?
Yes. This is going to be the same drainage pipe that we've been talking about in the previous photographs. It's just going to be a photograph taken from a little bit farther back.
Of a second set of exhibits, is that correct?
Correct.
And from where this photograph is taken, or these exhibits 12 and 13, is there anything between exhibits 12 and 13 and the window that you've been showing us?
The only thing I see are going to be some of these flag markers.
Okay, but is there anything between these flag markers and the window? In other words, I'm talking about this black car.
Oh, yes, there is a black car. There's this tree that is going to be in between that.
So if you're standing somewhere to the left of exhibits 12 and 13, would the black car be in front of window 102?
Yes,
Thank you. And that's the window we're talking about now.
correct.
Thank you. You can have a seat. And closing in, did you then, after taking a look at the outside of the glass windows, did you go inside 102?
Yes,
And is this a fair and accurate depiction of the inside of the classroom 102?
yes.
Would you show us which window had the defects?
Yes, it's going to be the window to the left The window to the right is covered with a curtain. The window to the left is open, and you can see the sun shining through it.
Thank you. And tell us what we're looking at in Stakes Exhibit 29.
This is going to be an inside view of the same window. You can see on the bottom where the window is shattered. You can see my evidence markers that are going to be on the bullet defects on the window. Our evidence markers are, in this case, they're little adhesive stickers. They have a scale on them. We can write on them with a marker or a pen, but they're sticky, they're adhesive. You can stick them to a surface so that we can take photographs of them and show it with a scale to show an accurate size.
Thank you. And then Stakes Exhibit 30.
That's going to be just a closer up view of the window.
And it shows the number of defects.
Yes.
And how many do you count?
Looks like 5.
Thank you. Stakes Exhibit 31.
It's going to be a photograph of the same window. Going to be just standing a little further back from it, showing some of the items that were going to be in front of the window.
And were those the items in that position when you came into 102?
Yes.
And were the items of significance to you in evidence collection?
Yes.
Tell us what the significance was.
Some of these items, some of these books, you can see where bullets or bullet fragments passed through these books, creating a bullet defect. And
Specifically, is the book entitled Bill Cosby and then one behind it, The Bee?
Yes.
Showing you Stakes Exhibit 32, is that a close-up of those books?
Yes.
And could you tell us what we're looking at or why you took that photograph?
That's just going to be bullet defects that came through the window and struck those books.
And where would you point those out for the jury?
Yes. Your Honor, can I approach again?
Yes, sir.
It's going to be right here on the top of this book. I have one here and one here.
And is Stakes Exhibit 33 a close-up of that?
Yes, it's going to be just another photograph of those bullet defects.
And Stakes Exhibit 34.
That's going to be another book showing another bullet defect passing through.
And I'll go back so we can get an idea. Do you see that same book in this exhibit?
I do. It's going to be this book that's directly behind. It's going to be this orange-colored book, and that is going to be the defect
Okay.
that I was photographing.
And that's what we're showing in Exhibit 34, is that correct?
Correct.
And Exhibit 35.
Just another photograph of the bullet defect in the orange book.
And so even though a bullet has fragmented, is it still dangerous?
Yes.
States Exhibit 36.
This is going to be a view kind of standing back where, closer to the window, looking back at the opposite side of the room from the window. If you can see up here, there are going to be some bullet defects, definitely on this wall back here. Some of them may be up here as well, the ceiling tiles.
But the picture is actually taken from about where the window is, but standing inside the window.
Correct.
And Exhibit 37.
This is going to be photographs showing bullet defects in the ceiling tiles. You can see what we call a flight path rod or a trajectory rod that we were able to put through one of the bullet defects. showing basically directionality of the bullet, coming from outside the window, coming in through the window, coming into the classroom, striking these ceiling tiles.
Directly across from the window.
Yes.
And State's Exhibit 38.
A closer photograph of these bullet defects.
And they have rods in them?
This one does, yes.
And how do you decide how to put a rod in a defect? How does that work?
So when a bullet passes through an object, obviously it will leave a hole if the object itself is usually like this, a ceiling tile. It's a foamy type of substance. For us to put a rod in, usually there's going to be either a corresponding defect on the opposite side, or the path is so pronounced in this surface itself that you're able to slide the rod through the hole and it'll stay put, showing the flight path or the trajectory of the bullet.
Thank you. Exhibit 39.
This is just going to be another bullet defect on the ceiling tiles, actually on the frame in between the ceiling tiles.
And so you have defects in the ceiling and yet defects in books well below the ceiling. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, say that again?
You have defects in the ceiling as well as defects well below the ceiling in these books.
Correct.
And State's Exhibit 40, is that a close-up of that?
Yes.
And is there directionality in State's Exhibit 40?
Yes.
Would you tell us about that?
Yes, so it's going to be, you usually see a leading edge of a bullet defect, kind of showing where it comes in. This one did not perforate completely through. It came in, it kind of came into the surface, and this one particularly did not have enough energy to punch through this frame. So what it did was ricochet off. And so this fragment went somewhere else in the room.
So once a bullet strikes an object, it doesn't necessarily stop.
Correct.
It could ricochet.
Correct.
So is that dangerous to anybody in that room?
Yes.
State's Exhibit 41.
That's going to be just another photograph of that bullet defect.
And Exhibit 42. That keeps bouncing me.
This is going to be another bullet defect with a flight path rod in it.
And the flight path rod is pointing in what direction?
It's going to be pointing, so it's indicating that the bullet came through the window going to the opposite side of the room in that direction, from the outside to the inside.
And State's Exhibit 43?
It's another photograph of the same bullet defect.
And 44?
This will be another photograph of another bullet defect in the room.
Once again in the ceiling?
Yes.
And is 45 a close-up of that?
Yes.
Moving now to Exhibit 46. Trying to. Can you tell us what we're looking at in State's Exhibit 46?
Yes, this is going to be a view of the opposite wall from the windows.
And are there any of your trajectory rods in that?
Yes.
Would you point that out for the jury?
Yes, there's a pink one right here. That's the only one that I see right now in this photograph.
And do you see any other defects in that photograph?
Yes.
Could you point those out and describe them?
Yes, these defects are going to be in the same wall. One is down here. They're all marked with the adhesive sticky markers that I told you all about earlier. Going to be one here, two here, This is the third, fourth, fifth.
And State's Exhibit 47.
47 is going to be one of the bullet defects. Actually, there's several of the bullet defects in this photograph. This one is kind of centered most. This YBD2, I believe, is the number on there. I'm sorry, that's YBD30. But it's showing it's one of our flight path rods. There's another one down here with a flight path rod. Up here where the ceiling tiles meet the wall, there's another flight path rod going in there.
And the directionality of those flight path rods are coming from what direction?
Coming from the windows, going into this wall on the opposite side of the room.
So are all of these defects consistent with bullets coming through the window?
Yes.
State's Exhibit 48.
This is just going to be another view of the same wall. You can see the flight path rods. It's just showing those same bullet defects, just from a different angle.
And is this part of the wall directly across from the window, or is it where these defects are, or is it at a wide angle?
It's going to be directly across from the window. So I guess for an example, in this room here, if these are the windows that we're talking about, it would be the exact opposite wall on the exact opposite side of the room.
As opposed to at an angle over to this side of the room.
Correct.
And Exhibit 49.
Again, it's going to be a picture of the same bullet defects on that wall, and you can see our markers showing the bullet defects.
And I guess I'm looking at the, okay. Moving next to Exhibit 153.
Okay, this is going to be one of the bullet defects. This is the one that we saw earlier where the ceiling tiles actually meet the wall. And there was a bullet defect that went in right there.
Right where the wall and the ceiling
Yes.
connect. And Exhibit 154.
This is going to be just another one of the bullet defects in that wall.
And 155. Sorry, it just bounces back.
This is a photograph of a couple of the Rangers trying to basically dig either a bullet or a bullet fragment out of the wall.
So it's more than just the defect that you're trying to recover the fragments also, is that correct?
Yes.
And that's what they're doing?
Yes.
And 156, is that a close-up of that?
Yes.
And Exhibit 157.
That is going to be the bullet that came out of that defect. The defect, the YBD31.
And is that the same shape it would be in when it was in the entire cartridge?
No.
Tell us the difference.
This bullet is obviously flattened. It hit a hard surface, and so the edge, the pointy edge of the bullet is flattened where it hit, most likely where it hit this wall.
And States 158.
It's going to be another bullet defect.
And the defect is numbered.
Correct.
And do you match that up then when you recover fragments?
Yes, if we recover a fragment from that particular bullet defect, we generally try to take a photograph of whatever came out of that bullet defect.
And so what is this defect labeled?
YBD25.
And Exhibit 159. Maybe.
This is going to be a bullet fragment that came out of that bullet defect.
And how would you describe that fragment?
It looks to me like a piece of a copper jacket from the outside of the bullet. It's pretty mangled up.
Exhibit 160.
So this is a photograph standing in the hallway on the opposite side of the wall. So for reference, so the jury can understand, if these were the windows that we started with, this is the opposite wall that the bullet defects from the previous photographs. This photograph is going to be from a hallway that would be on the opposite side of that wall. You can see where we have bullet defects coming out, where they traveled through the room and into this hallway, and one of them coming over here and actually going through the wall on the opposite side of the hallway.
And what was the origin of those fragments that caused that?
Everything from everything that I observed at the scene, every one of those bullets came through the original windows where we started the photographs.
So, go through a window, through sheetrock, both sides of the sheetrock wall, and then penetrate another sheetrock wall?
Yes.
So would that be dangerous to a human being,
Yes.
even after it goes through a window?
Yes.
And when a bullet hits a window, what happens to the window?
A multitude of things. It depends on several factors, including what type of glass it is. But I mean, generally speaking, I mean, there's a lot of things that it can happen to the bullet.
And to the glass?
The glass usually shatters, again, depending on what type of glass it is.
And is it at a dangerous speed when glass shatters from a bullet strike?
Yes.
State's Exhibit 161.
So this is going to be a picture of the two bullet defects that this is where they were coming out of the original room, room 102.
And then across the hall.
Yes.
And does it also show a trajectory rod?
Correct. Shows that it is going through the opposite wall on the other side of the hallway.
And is Exhibit 163 show a different kind of defect?
Yes. So this is a defect that was caused by a bullet fragment.
Okay. Thank you. You can have a seat. May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes. Oh, me,
Hi,
not the witness. Okay.
no, to you. I'm sorry. We're not even halfway through. I'm about to go on.